How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. So robot vacuums have come a pretty long way, and I remember actually 15 years ago when my parents picked up a brand new robot vacuum. We unboxed it, we set it up, and unfortunately that thing was just really loud and bumped into every single wall. But at the time, that was the peak of technology, and we were pretty impressed, I would say. Well, Ecovacs, who's actually sponsoring this video, actually sent me one of their top-of-the-line models, and this is the Deebot X1 Turbo. I've been testing it over the past few weeks and have really been impressed by how far the technology has come and all of the features that this thing packs. So stick around with me and let's see what this $1,300 robot vacuum has to offer. Let's get into it. So first off, let me just take you on a tour around the robot. So up on top is a magnetic cover, which if you take off reveals the inside of the robot. And here is where you'll find the power switch, the Wi-Fi reset, the dustbin, which comes out pretty easily, as well as the power button. And then up in front is the bumper, as well as a bunch of sensors that we'll talk about later. And then on the bottom, you'll find the sweeper brushes, some really beefy wheels, the two spots where you attach the mopping pads, as well as the main vacuum. So on the outside, it looks pretty basic, but I'd say there are a couple of things that make this robot unique from its counterparts of the past. Now those three things I'd say are number one, the sensors, number two, extra functionalities, and number three, the app. So the first major difference comes from the sensors. Now this robot, just like some modern vehicles, uses a combination of both LiDAR and cameras to map out its surroundings and to help it navigate the world around it. So up on top, there's a 360-degree LiDAR sensor that shoots lasers in all directions to help it measure distance from the walls and other objects. Then in front, there are two cameras that sort of act as eyes for the robot. So just like how a Tesla can identify street signs or pedestrians, these cameras use AI to help the robot identify things like pets, your feet, furniture, or other obstacles. And as you can clearly see from the side-by-side, this robot, compared to the ones of the past, knows exactly where each wall and corner is and is able to navigate your home much better. Now, it's also worth mentioning how much more quieter this robot is. It's actually so quiet that my dog didn't even seem to mind when it got really close to it, and I can even have a conversation with someone when this thing is sweeping right under our feet. So I'd say that's just a really nice quality of life feature. Now, another sensor that this robot has is called the carpet sensor, which helps it detect carpet and increase the suction power when it is on carpet. And then of course, you'll find drop sensors all around the bottom of this robot to keep it from driving off a ledge, like stairs, for example. And actually, why don't we test that out? Please don't drive off. Okay, it seems to be working. So the drop sensors do work. You got nowhere to go, buddy. Ugh. Now, the second major difference that I found between this and the ones of the past are just all the extra functionalities besides just vacuuming. So this model, the X1 Turbo, actually features a mopping system. And on the bottom of the device, you can find two mopping pads. And these mopping pads are actually washable and reusable, so you can take them off pretty easily since they stick on using Velcro. Now, how this whole mopping system works is that inside of the docking station, you'll find two water tanks, one labeled dirty water and one labeled clean water. And when you send the robot off to clean, it'll actually take the water from inside the docking station and fill up the mini reservoir that's inside of this robot. So that way it can spray clean water while it's mopping. And then about every 15 minutes or so, this robot will actually return to the docking station to refill its tank with even more clean water, while simultaneously wash the mopping pads as well as empty out any dirty water that comes from cleaning those pads. Then after about a minute or so, this robot will return to where it left off and continue cleaning. And then once this robot has finished cleaning your entire house, it'll also dry the mopping pads using these mini fans inside of the docking station. They actually sound really cool. It sounds like a mini hairdryer. Take a listen. And that tiny little thing is just so thoughtful because drying off the mopping pads prevents any bacteria or mold buildup. So really thoughtful of them to include that. Now, so far we've only been talking about the physical differences, but the third and final thing that makes this robot unique is the app. And the app has three main functionalities that are used most often. The first is home mapping, the second is cleaning customization, and the third is video manager. So within the app, the first thing you do after you set up the robot is called home mapping. And essentially what the robot is doing is it's using this distance sensor up here to create a map of your entire floor plan. It's actually really mind-blowing when it's doing this in real time, because when you look on the app, it actually shows you what the robot is seeing. And yeah, you sort of start to see your house in a completely different perspective. And when the map finally finished, I was able to see really strange shapes, like this little star thing. And when I went over to that area of the house, I found that it was actually the base of an office chair, which I thought was pretty funny. And then that map is stored in the cloud and is used by the robot to know exactly where in the house it is, as well as where it's cleaned and where it hasn't cleaned and where the rooms are. So you can actually tell the robot where the living room ends and where the bedroom starts, and also tell the robot not to go into certain places and things like that. And I think the most crazy thing about this whole home mapping experience is it actually uses the AI cameras in the front to sort of figure out where all your doorways are and where each chair is, and it'll actually create a 3D map with furniture, at least to the best of its ability. What you can actually do is go into that 3D map and start customizing it and putting each piece of furniture exactly where it should be. And you might be wondering why this robot is creating a 3D map. Well, it can actually clean under furniture using voice commands. Rather than telling you about it, let me just show you. All right, y'all, so welcome to my living room. As you can see, the robot is right over there, and I have some chips that I'm going to litter on the floor right under my couch. So I guess we'll just go ahead and do that. Okay, Eco.
I'm here.
Clean under the couch.
Okay, start furniture area cleaning.
And you guys can see how easily it navigates. And it goes straight forward. Oh my goodness. So right now it's actually going around the perimeter of the area, so just the outsides of the couch. And once it does that, it's gonna actually come back and go in a back and forth pattern. And there's a light at the front of the robot because that's the indicator that the camera is on. And just like that, most of the chips are gone. That is crazy. Okay, looks like it's gotten most of it. Now tell me that wasn't cool. I actually use that feature quite often because a couple of days ago I was hanging out with my friends at my apartment and we actually spilled something right around the living room area under the couch. So I was able to tell the robot to come over and clean that area, and it did so pretty flawlessly, and my friends were pretty amazed. Now in the app, you can also do a plethora of other things such as cleaning schedule, vacuum power, water flow level, and just a bunch of things to customize how you want the robot to clean. Now the third and final thing that I want to touch on in the app is called Video Manager. Now this allows you to access the robot's camera and view it on your phone, whether you're at home or you're away. And you can actually see what the robot is seeing or control the robot like an RC car. Now this might seem a little gimmicky, but it does work, and I think it could be a great backup security camera, and also has two-way talk. So yeah, I'd say this robot is more advanced than I could have ever imagined. And over the past 2 weeks, it has really helped me stay on top of my cleaning, as I didn't really have to worry about it while it worked in the background. For example, if you live in a large house with a lot of kids that are really messy eaters, or maybe you have pets that leave fur everywhere, this really could be a huge time saver and just keep your house overall really clean. Now with the price tag of $1,300, it definitely is really steep and isn't for everybody, but if you are in a situation where you find yourself constantly cleaning like every weekend and you want to give some of that time back for yourself, I really do think that this robot can save you a lot of time. So that about does it for this video. If you want to pick one up, I'll have links down below. Ecovacs always has sales going on, so make sure to take advantage of those. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. subscribe if you wanna see more content, and leave a comment, and make sure to do so with the robot emoji so I know who made it to the end. Let me know about your experience with robot vacuums, whether it's good or bad. I'd love to hear about it. All right, until next time, peace.